Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk for another Overreaction Monday. I hope everyone's feeling good on this Monday. It is a happy new year. We are in 2024. That's going to be the weird. I have not yet wrote the date, and it's going to, I hate that. You guys hate that feeling at the beginning of New Year. We have to start writing the date again. It is the worst. I'm not looking forward to it.
I don't know. I kind of like it. It's kind of soothing to me that there's a whole new number whenever we write the date, you know, from something we write over and over and over again. I don't know. I like it. I'm just weird.
New year, new you, right, AJ?
Every year, baby.
Every year. When I saw that on my timeline, I cracked up. All right. But I'm feeling good on this Overreaction Monday because obviously my Packers beat the Vikings, which I was surprised about, especially how the game went down. And then also Vincent gave me a second gift with the Seahawks losing, and now we are technically we control our own destiny. Vincent and the Seahawks need the Packers to lose against the Bears next week. There's so many playoff scenarios going on this next week, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. Week 18, in my opinion. I'm pumped. AJ doesn't even care because he's got the first round bye secured. Christian McCaffrey, they're already sitting. Who knows who else they're going to sit.
Yeah, probably Brock as well. I mean, we might see Sam Darnold go in there, go up against Carson Wentz. I don't know. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be super fun, super exciting. I'm glad the Niners get a bye.
Yeah, very good for you guys, especially with CMC's injury. Just perfect timing for you guys. But, man, I'm feeling good about this upcoming playoff picture. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about it. So the AFC is a little bit more wild, so we'll talk about that one first. So go ahead and pull up the AFC playoff picture if you can, AJ.
Yeah, I actually have both here. It comes
with that's perfect.
Both those things, yeah.
We can talk about them both then. All right, so we all know the Baltimore had secured their first seeding with that huge win last week, and then after that, it's kind of up in the air. But Miami is in the playoffs, Kansas City's in the playoffs, and then the Cleveland has secured themselves in the playoffs, and then the NFC South, the Jacksonville, Indianapolis, Texans division is still up for grabs. Anybody can win it. They're all 9-7. It's anybody's game, really, division at this point. And then Buffalo, they're looking, I believe they have like a 90-something% chance of securing their playoff spot. So it's basically you win and that's going to turn into 100% chance. But the Texans are in the hunt, and I know the Steelers are also in the hunt to get one of those wild card games. So it's going to be a lot of different scenarios for the AFC as far as who wins, who loses. What are y'all's thoughts looking at this playoff picture for the AFC? Are you happy with some of the teams you see there? Are you disappointed? What are you guys thinking?
Well, obviously, I'm happy with the Niners, solidifying their first spot.
AFC.
Well, you said the playoff picture, so I was like, okay, let's talk about playoffs.
No, AFC.
Okay.
Talk about the Niners later.
Okay, for the AFC, I know you said about the Buffalo Bills having a 93% chance, but I saw a video earlier where almost in any scenario where a team wins or a team loses, it changed their playoff spot dramatically, even to the point where it actually knocks them out of the playoffs. Can you imagine this? The Buffalo Bills out of the playoffs and the Pittsburgh Steelers are in. How crazy is that, right? We're going to get a repeat of what we saw last year where the Steelers just got absolutely embarrassed by the Kansas City Chiefs. But this is just, it's so weird to me. Everyone talked about the AFC being such a stacked division out there, a stacked conference. And I never bought it. I never bought it. We had some great teams out there. Everyone is always high on Kansas City, which they should be. Everyone was always high on Buffalo, which they get disappointed every single year. Everyone's always high on Miami. It's just two guys out there. Baltimore is a real deal, but I'm not afraid of any other team out there. I'm really not even afraid of Baltimore. It's just crazy how AFC has turned out this year, and I'm excited to see. Well, not really, but I'm curious to see what happens in the playoffs in that conference.
Gotcha. Now the Texans have a good chance of knocking the Indianapolis Colts out of there because that is their matchup. They are playing on a Saturday night game, which will be really exciting. I mean, it's a win and in type of situation for the most part. Or if you want to stay in it, you got to win it. So that will be really exciting. And then it just comes down to Jacksonville, who's playing the Titans. If the Titans are able to upset Jacksonville, then that really whoever wins between Indianapolis and Texans should win the division, as they are the one that are 10-7 and not 9-8. But after that, Buffalo's playing Dolphins in the Sunday night game, the last game of the regular season, to see if they can secure their playoff spot. How do you guys think that goes for the Buffalo Bills?
I think they always finish off the year strong. Like I said, they go out strong. I think they will beat the Miami Dolphins. So I don't know.
All right. Miami Dolphins have lost a few key players on that team, and the Buffalo Bills did kind of stink it up though a little bit with the New England Patriots. They almost lost that thing. Vincent, how are you feeling about the Buffalo Bills' chances against the Dolphins?
I mean, it just depends on where they're playing. You know, if they're playing in Buffalo, I think they have a higher chance. Of course,
It's in Dolphins. It's in Miami.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have the higher seed. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about the Week 18 matchup.
Oh, Week 18, just regular.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I think they can win. Right now, the Dolphins are hurting, like you said. But I just feel like Tyreek Hill's has a statement game. If Jalen Waddle is coming back and actually playing, that could be something there. I haven't checked up on his injury status since he was out last week. But I think the Dolphins have a higher chance of winning this game than the Buffalo Bills do. I just feel like they have a little bit more to play for, because if they don't win this game, Buffalo has a chance of getting that second seed. So I think both these teams are for sure going to play it out as hard as they can. It's a pretty cool matchup the last week of the season.
Well, let's see if that makes a difference. Yeah, let's see if Buffalo wins here.
Okay.
Boom. Mm-hmm. They now become the second seed, and Miami switches.
Wow. That's because they win the division. Wow.
Because exactly, they'll win the division. But we got to see with the rest of the teams how they line up. I don't know. I think it will be cool. Should we try to predict Week 18 right now to see a playoff scenario?
Let's do it. Okay.
Okay, so we'll go clear and lead us off, Reed.
Okay, so Texans Colts. How are we feeling?
Steelers Baltimore.
Well, I'm just that one doesn't. Okay. I'm gonna say Baltimore wins that.
Hey, Baltimore may be sitting all their players. They're solidified. And number one, it's a real possibility that Steelers have a chance of winning this, because Baltimore has no reason whatsoever to start any starters here. No reason.
I agree. I still think they win.
Oh, okay.
It's just one of those weird games that they're still going to win. That's just my gut feeling.
Oh.
What do you say? Because in my opinion, if this was they only had 8 wins on the season, the Steelers did, and they needed the 9th, then I think they would get it. This is all just gut feeling. This is completely not based on any logic at all, okay? But they already have their 9th win. That's all they need. They're done.
I feel like these guys have to win. The Steelers have to win.
Yeah, for sure. It's a have to win, and sometimes you just crap the bed. Vincent, what do you think?
Well,
if they win, they're in.
Yes.
Yeah. I think this is a game that the Steelers have to win, because if they don't win and Jacksonville wins or the Texans win, sorry. Only if Jacksonville wins, So let's say Jacksonville wins and Houston Texans win as well. We'll get to that later. But if those two teams win, the Steelers are out if they lose. So there's a possibility that the Steelers don't make the playoffs. So I think this is a for sure need to win game. That's why I think they do win this game. I like the way they played last week. As long as their run game is good, I think they have a high chance of winning this game. So I think I'd go Steelers here just because of what AJ just said, that the Baltimore Ravens, they don't have a reason to play their starters. I mean, it just makes more sense. We always see upsets in the last week anyway, so I think this is a good one to call.
Let's go ahead and put Steelers in.
Okay, so now the Steelers are in.
Yes.
Here, since we stole that from you, you pick the next one.
No, we're picking together. Nets is going to be Texans going to the Colts. I really like both of these teams. I really wish the Texans had Tank Dell still, and I would instantly pick them. But I really just like this Colts team. Even though they got Minshew as their quarterback, I think they just come up on top of games. I think Colts win. What do you guys think? I know our hearts what they want to say, because we all like support the Texans in some sort of way.
I'm not counting out the Texans. I do think they win. I mean, their defense has been playing lights out for the past 4 weeks. They held the Titans to 3 points this past week. I'm so glad I sat Derrick Henry. Oh wow, but yeah, I'm going Texans here.
Yeah, man, this one's a little hard for me to choose. I agree with Reed. I like the way the Colts play. They win games, when they need to. But their defense is not as stout as the Texans defense at this point in time. So I think that's what gives me the edge for the Texans. CJ Stroud, he's going to play. They just have a lot of guys that I think are going to make the difference. They have wide receivers, tight ends, guys on both sides of the balls that are making plays at every single chance they need to. So I just think the Texans are a better team at this point in time. Colts have a good defense, but the offense scares me. Even with Jonathan Taylor, it's just hard to run against the Texans defense. And we saw that with Derrick Henry as well as Spears. So it's going to be hard. So I think the Texans is my pick here.
I'm fine with that.
That takes the Jacksonville Jaguars out.
For now.
If the Jags win, then they're in.
They're in, yeah.
So Nets is going to be Browns and Bengals for AFC. I don't think this one. We're talking about AFC. We have not broken down the NFC.
All right.
AFC. Okay. All right, Browns Bengals. I don't think this really affects seeding too much, but I think we would all agree here that Browns should win this.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think so.
I
think the Browns win. I don't think they sit anybody. They are in, but I still think they play their guys at least for the first half.
Yeah. Then the Nets game, Jets Patriots don't matter for playoff picture. Then Jags versus Titans. Do we feel like? I mean, I would imagine Trevor Lawrence is going to replay regardless how he feels. Like, there's no way they're going to hold him out another game. Do we think that they can go into Tennessee and win?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you feel good about that?
I think the Jags can beat them. Yeah. So
I am scared of a little bit of an upset, but I think definitely I feel like Jags should win.
Yeah, I just feel like the Titans are still unsure about like their quarterback play. That's the only thing.
They got destroyed by the Texans last week.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
So with that said, I think the Jaguars have more to play for here. Yes, Titans want to upset them and knock them out of the playoffs. That's the best thing against one of your rivals in the division. But I think Jacksonville they're going to throw all their marbles out there. They're going to go trick plays, going on fourth down. So I think the Jaguars is my pick here.
All right. Next up would be Chiefs and Chargers, which doesn't affect the playoffs at all. Broncos, Raiders. I think technically the Broncos are still systematic. No, they got eliminated, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're out.
And then what ends it is Buffalo Bills going to Miami to basically who wins the AFC East. Yeah, I kind of like the Bills here. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah, we just talked about it.
Yeah, cool. All right, so then that means Baltimore, obviously first seed. Buffalo somehow goes from in the middle of the season, we didn't even think they may even win make it to the playoffs. Kansas City Chiefs at 3rd, Jacksonville 4th, Cleveland Browns at 5th, Miami gets knocked down to 6th, and the Houston Texans are in the 7th seed. Good for them.
That's pretty crazy. If it were all to go like this, I mean, having the Miami Dolphins lose the chance to play either the Texans or the Jaguars, whatever way that game swings, that's so much harder playing against the Chiefs. Yes, the Chiefs are not playing as good, but I just feel like when the playoffs come, the Chiefs, they play well. They have the skills in some of their players that have been there. They know how to play. Miami has not really been there in these situations a lot over the past few years. So I don't know. I don't think we're choosing right now who's going to win the Super Bowl and stuff like that, but this is just how it shakes out. And I think it's very interesting.
All right. So let's move over to the NFC. Now, this is where us three have all our marbles in. This is the one we really, really care about. Now, AJ over here is all feeling good about himself because he's the number 1 seed. So, AJ, I know you wanted to say something earlier and I cut you off, so I apologize. But how are you feeling about the San Francisco 49ers having the 1 seed, getting that bye week, and you're already solidified to go into the divisional round?
It feels good. I didn't want to talk much. I just wanted to address that and head over to the AFC. But no, I'm excited.
Cool. All right. Now, me and Vincent, we are fighting for the last playoff spot as far as the wild card. 2 of the wild cards have already solidified. It's either going to be the Dallas or Philadelphia, whichever ends up winning the division. And then the Rams have solidified themselves as a wild card spot. Their seeding has not been solidified. And then the Packers are technically, right now, if they win, they're in. That's all that matters for them. And then technically there's 4 other teams in the playoff hunt. The Vikings technically still have a chance of it's like a 3% chance. That's what NFL.com is telling me. I don't know what crazy situation needs to happen in order for them to make the playoffs. But technically they're still in it. So let's talk about them. I guess.
I think the only way this happens is if Green Bay loses to the Bears, if Seattle loses to the Arizona Cardinals, and if New Orleans loses to the Falcons. Yeah. That's the only way the Vikings get in. So they have no
and the Vikings need to win.
And they need to win, yeah. That's the only thing they have control over.
Good luck.
But it's pretty crazy.
The Falcons can still technically make the playoffs if they win their division. That's one of the least likely scenarios. It should just be the Saints or Buccaneers that have a chance. The Seahawks, they need the Packers to lose and they need to win. And then the Saints, they need the Bucs to lose and they need to win. So let's go ahead and start calling these games. So Bucs going into Panthers. Panthers just put up a goose egg. I think we feel all good about the Panthers just winning, or the Buccaneers winning this game, right?
Yeah, not as confident. They just got killed by the Saints.
They did. But it's the Panthers.
Yeah, now that they lost their quarterback as well, yeah, you got to go with the Bucs here.
Cool.
Chill.
So that should win them the division no matter what. Vikings going to Lions. Lions, I would imagine, maybe sitting some people. No, they shouldn't because they technically for seeding.
They have a chance to get the 2nd seed.
Yeah, so they got to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lions win this. They don't have a quarterback. The Vikings. It was bad. It was bad. All right. Next is Falcons and Saints. Taylor Heineke is currently hurt. He didn't play that great. Desmond Ridder's the backup. We all know what that means. I'm feeling good about the Saints winning this game. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think that's where I'm leaning towards too, especially after the way they played this past week. It was pretty nice.
Yep. All right. Then next is going to be Seattle going in to Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals just had a pretty good game beating the Eagles. And I think that was in Philadelphia also. So very impressive from them. But they have a chance to completely spoil everything for the Seattle Seahawks and hand them an L here. Vincent, do you think the Seattle definitely comes out on top, or are you a little bit worried about this game?
This one's a little bit worrisome, especially the way we played against the Steelers. As we know, the Cardinals are based around their run game, and they like to bring those safeties and linebackers up, and they throw it over the top and get one on us at any point in time. Just depends on what defensive scheme we're in. If we're bringing guys down into the box, it's pretty much over because we don't have guys that can possibly match up with their speed and quickness besides Tariq Woolen, but he always gets beat. So speed doesn't mean everything in the quarterback position. So this one I'm a little scared, but I still think we could win this one as long as we can contain Kyler Murray and, of course, not give up 8 yards every time James Conner gets the ball.
Yeah, this is going to come down to how you contain Kyler Murray and James Conner. Those guys were the absolute alphabet of this past game against the Philadelphia Eagles. They look real good. And of course, we can't dismiss that big play by Greg Dortch that he made towards the end to make that win possible for them. I think Eagles are very familiar with the Arizona Cardinals and how they play. I think they're going to have a better handle on that. And of course, this is a must-win game for Seattle. I don't see any reason why the Arizona Cardinals would want to win this game. But yeah, I'm going with Seattle here.
I'm also going to lean towards Seattle in this game. I do think that the Cardinals could go in and smash their mouth. But Seattle just isn't going to be ready for it, not be prepared for the moment. But it's a must-win game. I'm just going to believe that they're going to want it more and have something to fight for. So I'm going to go with Seattle.
You let us know, Pete, if our audio is cut out or not, so we could fix that.
Yeah, I saw that right now in the comments.
I mean, we can hear all of us, so
yeah, I can check on my phone too.
Yeah, go check on your phone, Vince. But here we go. Going to Lambeau. We're all good? Cool. All right, so we got Bears coming into Lambeau. Now, Bears have nothing to fight for here other than just wanting to change the culture around and show them that hey, we're a team that's moving forward. Justin Fields is our guy, et cetera, et cetera. And we, as a Bear fan that just lives on because they have nothing to actually celebrate their wins over, they just celebrate Green Bay's losses. So this is the perfect game for them to come in and try to ruin things in Lambeau, as the Packers are through a season that it was just about just seeing if we are a good enough team. Can we continue moving forward with this team, or do we need to completely reset after Jordan Love? We are somehow fighting for the playoff spot and could be the 7th seed and be in the playoffs, which would be absolutely crazy in my opinion. But to break down the game a little bit, Justin Fields is playing really well as far as a runner right now. He's playing very, very well. And this Bears team has won, I think, 4 out of the last 5, if I'm not correct. Correct me. But they have been red hot, really, playing very, very well. And the Packers, they've, as far as like completely from like offense, defense, special teams looking good, they've only looked good this past game in all 3 phases. Against Carolina, just offense looked good, etc. On the other 2 games, they just offense. That's all it's been. Can Green Bay play a complete game this one? I am not too sure. But I just believe that, hey, we got some momentum going after the Vikings game, and hopefully Joe Barry doesn't screw this thing up, and we play some good QB to contain, tackle Justin Fields. Don't let him get the 50-plus yard type of plays running, and if we can force them into passing situations, I think we can win this game. I'm going to take the Packers. Now, you two, I know Vincent, what he wants to happen. You guys give me your honest opinion about this game.
I can't tell. Am I the one lagging or?
Vincent's muted, I think.
Yeah, I'm muted. Sorry.
There you go. Am I lagging?
I don't know. Could be.
Everything's clear on my side.
Yeah, my side's clear too. But I guess I'll talk about it first. I mean, of course, I want the Bears to win.
Yes.
Packers have been playing good, but so have the Bears. I just feel like the matchups have been a little bit towards the side of the Packers. Yes, the Panthers are not the best team in the NFL, but they played well that day. Of course, the defense of the Packers did not play very well. So I have to give that week to the Bears. But this past week against the Vikings, you guys completely embarrassed them. The defense, of course, did not look amazing, but the Vikings offense just looked horrible. So I still think I'd have to give this to the Bears this week for playing a better game, not because of, they just embarrassed the Falcons, but the Falcons have been, a defense that has been pretty good against running. So for the Bears to do what they did to them this past week, I think I'd give my edge to the Bears. The Vikings just look so dysfunctional without TJ Hawkinson, without a quarterback. Run game was not there. I mean, they just could not do anything. So I feel like I'm a little bit biased here, but I think the Bears could possibly win this game if the Packers defense does not show up like they did against the Panthers. I just feel like Justin Fields, he's playing very well. Yes, as better as a runner, but he has been passing the ball quite well too to DJ Moore. So if you guys can't lock up DJ Moore with anybody of your safeties or cornerbacks, I think you guys might have a really bad problem.
I think the Bears are bear hot right now. I like them a lot, and really, they don't have to lose, right? I know we say like, what are they winning for? But these guys, their main purpose in life is to get back at the Packers. And what perfect way to get back at the Packers is this game right here. They're going to go all out. They're going to go all in, right? New head coaches as well. This is a staple point. This is how you win over the fans, right? You got to beat the Green Bay Packers, keep them out of the playoffs, keep them miserable because you guys are miserable, and you guys are not losing your first overall pick because the Panthers are solidifying that for you. So you don't have to worry about that. They're looking good. I think the Packers are going to have their hands full. And you know what? I mean, Reed convinced me. He was riding Justin Fields all preseason, all beginning of the season. I think I'm going to hop on that bandwagon, and I'm going to go Justin Fields, man. It looks good. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, but the Bears have a lot more at stake for themselves, in my opinion. But I want to go with the Bears here.
All right.
And I think this past game, too, at Soldier Field, fans were chanting Justin Fields' name.
Yeah,
like they're so dumb,
insanely loud.
They've never seen a good quarterback. That's
all I could do was think of Reed when I saw that video. I was like, man, Reed's laughing so hard right now because, in my opinion, I think they should draft a quarterback. It's just an insurance policy. Who knows? Maybe Justin Fields gets better next year. This is his third year in the league, right?
Yes, this is third year.
Yeah, so Reed always says, you got to give a quarterback 3 years before they actually shine. So next year could be Justin Fields like last year to actually show that he is a starting quarterback. If not, he gets replaced, And I think that's the best thing that the Bears could do. They draft a quarterback and they light a fire under Justin Fields, or they have the next prodigy, the next messiah at quarterback. And Rave says Justin Fields is going to go hard, trying to prove he belongs there. And that's exactly what we're talking about here, Raven. It's just, I think it's a cool story. Justin Fields was always a guy who nobody liked in high school, nobody liked in college, nobody likes him here in the NFL. I mean, he's trying to beat the odds. But I still think the Packers have a good possibility here because they do have the next messiah there already, is Justin Love. He's been playing out of his mind this past 7 weeks, I believe. I saw a stat there that he has 30 touchdowns now, and he's been playing very well. I'll just say that. So this one is going to be a no-biter. I think this one goes down to the last minute of the game, but I'm hoping the Bears win.
I can't wait till we get into those scenarios. Like, what should the Bears do with that pick, right? And I feel like they should do exactly what they did last year, and just do it again. I mean, if they're that confident in Justin Fields, if that's what the route they want to go, then do what you did again and keep on racking those drafts, the draft capital, and you're going to be looking good for a few years, or at least keeping your job for a few years. But yeah, very curious.
So the last thing I'll say on the Packers, I think we're going to win this game because our offense is just playing that well. Our defense is playing bad. I think Justin Fields is definitely going to have a lot of running highlights. You'll see something will get posted on like TikTok or whatever, how I'm juking like the whole Packers defense or something, running into the end zone, etc. But in my opinion, the Packers offense is going to put up 30 points. We're playing that well. Everything's coming together. Offensive line. Aaron Jones is healthy. AJ Dillon's hitting his stride. The wide receivers, we finally had our first 100-yard receiver, and you know what his name is? Bo Melton. I didn't even know about this guy until a few weeks ago. We're playing very, very well. Jaden Rafe says, is Jaden Reed him? And I sent this in between our three group chats. I sent it twice. I was like, Jaden Reed is the real deal. He is 100% the real deal. I am so excited about this guy's potential career in the NFL. He's everything I wanted Christian Watson to be, but Christian Watson just gets hurt. But Packers, we're going to put up 30 points. And the question is, can the Bears do it also? We'll see.
I'm glad you brought up Bo Melton Reed. He used to be with the Seahawks.
He did?
Yeah,
he did. He did. I remember it. Yeah, he had a great game. 108 yards.
Nice. I like to see him doing well.
So we all know what happens here. If the Bears win, then Seattle makes it. If the Packers win, then we're the 7th seed. So either me or Vincent will be happy come Sunday. We'll see.
Yeah,
where are you going to leave it, AJ?
None of us can be happy. Not both.
The tie. No!
The tie. Y'all get a tie.
Come on, dude. You can't do that to
and
us.
The tiebreaker goes to Seattle, I guess. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, because then they have the better record. We don't have 9 wins.
It's so crazy.
No!
That's
don't do that. That would be the most wild.
Oh, if we both tie?
Yeah.
Dang.
If you both tie, then the Saints get to go in.
All right.
Imagine that. Oh, my gosh.
So to move on, I know that, in my opinion, that's the most deciding game for the NFC because that decides the last playoff spots. Eagles going to the Giants. I think I don't even know about Eagles anymore. I backed them for the past 2 weeks, and I've gotten embarrassed. I can't. I mean, it's the Giants. They should beat them, but I just don't know. What are you guys feeling about the Eagles? That is one of my topics. Where is it? How far have the Eagles fallen? How far?
Very far from the nest, but they're going to do just enough for people to get excited about them at the last game of the season, the regular season. They're going to beat the heck out of the Giants, and people will get excited, forget all about what the Eagles actually are, put back that clown makeup on that Eagles face, and then it's going to get washed off in the playoffs. They win this game.
The defense is just so bad, though.
But remember, everyone was saying that it was that much better this coming year.
No. They reloaded, but they reloaded a little bit. They got a few injuries, but still overall, that thing is just, I don't know if it's the play calling, what it is, but they are just playing atrocious. Atrocious. Vincent, what do you think? Do you think Eagles should win this?
I don't know, dude. I thought they were supposed to win this past game at least by a touchdown.
Yeah.
It did come down to the wire. You know, they were up 21-6, I believe, was the stat, and then came down to just they lost it. I don't know. I can't even say that the Cardinals won this game. I think that the Eagles lost it because the Cardinals have been playing a lot better. James Conner's been playing a lot better. Kyler Murray finally is making a little bit of a difference there for the Cardinals organization. They looked pretty good, but the Eagles just looked preposterous after that second half, after halftime. So I just think the Eagles lost this game, and I want them to win this next game just for all the sorry, making it PG-13, but for the shits and giggles, they're gonna win this game, and then they're gonna go and play the Buccaneers, and they're gonna lose, and I'm gonna laugh. Going to laugh.
Baker
Because
Mayfield will play well against the Eagles defense.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be a fun one.
This past game.
Yeah, he did. You're just mad because you started him, I bet.
Hey, he ended up with 18 points.
All right. Okay. Moving forward, do we think the Rams can win a game if the Niners? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm mad.
Very
I'm
nice.
mad.
All right.
I'm mad.
Do we think the Rams can win the game against the Niners if they sit everybody? I think we all know if like everyone plays. I know CMC is going to sit. If everybody else plays, like the Niners should still win. But if they start sitting more people like Brock Purdy, etc., Debo, Kittle, Trent Williams, then it starts opening the door for the Rams to win. AJ, obviously, you're the Niner expert here. How do you feel about the Niners? How do you think you can beat the Rams no matter what?
I think we can. I would love to sweep the Rams for the third year in a row.
That's true, yeah.
I would love for that to happen. But geez, dude. Honestly, for the Rams too, it seems like whatever happens, it doesn't matter for them because they don't move. They just stay there.
Yep.
So for them as well, that's why I'm saying that we could potentially see Sam Darnold going up against Carson Wentz in this game because there's no need for the Rams to.
Real quick, can you give the Giants a win and then the Rams a win and see what happens?
Yeah.
See if that changes anything for them.
They're stuck, man.
They're in purgatory.
Yeah, they're stuck.
Because the fifth seed is already taken by either the Eagles or the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's true.
So they can't move up. They can't move down because they have the games over the Seahawks. They have the games over the Packers. Yeah. So they don't move.
All right. So maybe they sit everybody also. Maybe they just know there's a bunch of backups. It's a preseason game.
What's that?
Yeah.
Jeez. So I give it to Niners then. Yeah.
I like the Niners bench more than the Rams bench.
I think that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I still think Puka plays. Though,
Puka plays
as well as Cup. I still think Cup plays.
You think they play?
Puka is 100% playing. He has a chance to break the rookie record. That's apparently stood for 60 years. Apparently.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He needs 46 yards or something.
I think it's 60 yards.
60.
I think it's 50 or 60.
Yeah, but yeah, and I know Sean McVay will eat that up. He's gonna eat it up. He's gonna be like, yeah, I know that guy. Save his coaching career there.
All right, so one of them will win this game. Let's go to Cowboys and Washington. So if the Eagles win, then the Cowboys have to win in order for them to have a home playoff game. And we all know how important it is for the Cowboys to play at home at least one game. At least one.
This one's not home, though, man. I don't know.
And they're going to Washington. How do you think their chances are? Washington, we don't know. I mean, Sam Howell started this last game because, what's his name? But Jacoby Brissett wasn't able to go. What's going to happen this time?
I'd much rather see Dallas go up against Seattle here than go up against Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay a lot, but I think Seattle's a more hard-nosed football team where they're not afraid to smack the Cowboys right in the nose, dude. Right? And I think that's how you get in the head of the Cowboys. And they're going to have to lock up DK, which I don't think they have the secondary to do so. They don't. That's why they went man coverage against Miami and they fell apart. They can't go. They can't play zone. They can't go man on man with Tyreek Hill because there's no one that can match his speed because Darren Bland's not fast, right? Gilmore, he's getting old. He doesn't have the wheels. They can't keep up with DK. We saw that already. We saw them struggle against Seattle. That's why I think this is a much better matchup for Seattle to go up against Dallas, even if it's at Dallas home, even if it's there. I think Seattle's going to eat that up. I think Cowboys win here to their own demise.
To their own demise. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind playing either the Eagles or the Cowboys, because as long as we can stop the run from both of those teams, we can beat them. We just have to worry about CeeDee Lamb. Of course, we'd have the same problem. We don't have anybody to match up against CeeDee Lamb. We don't have anybody to match up against AJ Brown. But as long as our defense gets 1 or 2 stops throughout the game, we've already shown that we can beat the Philadelphia Eagles, and we already shown that we can keep up with the Dallas Cowboys. We're a little bit short in that last game that we played against them. So I don't
You
know.
put Drew Lock in, bro. You put that guy in, you win games, bro.
Jeez. But yeah, again, that's if we win and Packers lose. If not, then the Packers will be the ones to play these guys. So
Can you give the Cowboys a win real quick? Can you give the Packers a win?
that would be it.
I'm going to that game.
Oh,
Oh,
that's if the Rams lose.
Oh no!
I was like, dang, Reed's going to Detroit.
I'm not going to Detroit.
So the Rams can move.
Okay.
Can move.
So they have to play.
It's only if they lose.
I would much rather play Detroit than Dallas.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Rams.
I'd much rather go up against Jared Goff. For sure.
Yeah. Dak is having one of his best seasons ever. He has some crap games, but statistically, it's one of his best seasons ever.
Dang, so Seattle, you need Packers to lose.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it.
Jeez, okay. This is gonna be cool.
Though. I really want to see how this shakes out. It's gonna be cool.
So I'm rooting. Give me the Packers round 1 for that first round bye. LOJK Reed. Hey, I don't care if we lose. Like, I'll be sad if we go to the playoffs and lose 50-0. I'll be definitely sad about that. But us making the playoffs when everybody said it was the dumbest decision, or a lot of people said it was dumb to move on from Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love isn't it. We've seen nothing for him. We're stupid. This is if we make the playoffs, that is a win. I think it's already a win that we have. It's week 18 and we have a chance to go to the playoffs. I think that's a win. Like, if we go to playoffs, I'm happy. Like, this season was a success, absolute success. I love if we can compete in a playoff game, but I'm not expecting much. I'm just happy to be here.
Reed, do you guys have a first round pick this year?
Yeah, we have a first round pick.
Nice.
We have a first round in 2 seconds. We were supposed to have 2 firsts.
Yeah.
Rodgers faked
Roger.
an Achilles injury, right, AJ? He faked it.
Oh, 100%.
He faked it.
Yeah, and then he lied to the media. Oh, I could come back. I'm ready. Got a guy cut from the team just so he could freaking pick his toes in the practice field. What a joke.
Jeez.
He's going to come back next year all washed. There's going to be like, what happened?
I don't think he's going to be washed. I don't think he's going to be as good after an Achilles injury. He's not going to be the same moving around.
About last year with the Packers.
What I will say is that he's not going to be – like, if you think he's going to be able to turn this Jets team around after what we've seen for what they actually are, there's no turning that around. Will they be better with Aaron Rodgers rather than a Zach Wilson or whoever else is behind the wheel? Yes, they'll be better, but there's no way you're going to make me believe that they're a top team in the AFC. There's no way you can make me believe that.
But that's what people are expecting. They're
dumb.
I mean, okay, we'll look at it this way. They're 6-10 this year, right? They had a tough schedule. Remember in the beginning of the season, we were looking at the Jets schedule?
For sure.
And we're like, oh, shoot, these guys are not going to do well.
But they were losing like 30-0 against bad teams also.
Well, that's Zach Wilson as a quarterback.
Yeah. But they're 6-10 with all of that happening.
With the top-tier defense.
Yeah, with injuries on both sides of the ball. Of course, Aaron Rodgers is probably the biggest one, but, he comes back, right? He comes back next year. They have an easier schedule. They should be fighting for a spot in the playoffs. A lot of these teams
they'll fight for a spot for the playoffs, but they're not going to be. He's not going to be worth what they traded for.
Oh no, definitely not. He's getting too old already, and that's just the writing on the wall. Yeah, I think he'll play decent. Give me a Russell Wilson type season. That's where I think he's sitting at after this injury.
Yeah, because we talked about this, right? When he got traded. I wasn't impressed. Vincent wasn't impressed with how he performed his last year with Green Bay.
It was a broken thumb on his throwing hand. That's all I remember.
Jimmy Garoppolo had a broken thumb. He went to the
thumb.
freaking Super Bowl. Don't give me that.
And he also had about 40 drops from his receivers, the same that Patrick Mahomes is dealing with now. We give Patrick Mahomes the excuse. We give him the excuse about his receivers, but we don't give Aaron Rodgers the excuse about his receivers.
Oh, we don't give Aaron Rodgers excuses.
Oh my!
Is that we don't? Are we out? Are we out of excuses for Rodgers? Check the files. Check the files, dude. You're telling me we don't give excuses for Aaron Rodgers?
I'm telling you, in this circumstance, we're not giving him the excuses, or you are not giving him the excuses.
No, because he had for your eyes, right? One of the best coaches out there. He had Devontae Adams, the best wide receiver in the league.
He didn't have Devontae Adams that year.
Oh, he didn't have Devontae Adams that year?
Yeah.
No, he had Allen Lazard.
What year are you talking about?
His last year with Green Bay. What are you talking about? The last year he had Devontae Adams. That was the MVP year. Are you going to complain about that season? I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, you're giving so many excuses for Aaron Rodgers. If he was really that great, if he was worth that much, he put up a very poor performance his last year with Green Bay. Now, we said that when he goes with New York, he is still going to give off that same performance, if not even worse, because he's getting older. Now, coming off of this injury, I think it's going to be even worse than what it was now.
I'm agreeing with you there.
I know, but like you get so defensive.
I'm going to defend him when he was on the Packers.
Oh my gosh, he's not with the Packers anymore. He's not. You even said that was his worst performance with the Packers.
Yeah,
that came out of your
statistically. Yes.
So what is the problem here? Why are you getting so defensive?
There's reasons contributing to that also, AJ.
Okay, all right.
Cool. Yeah, his last year with the Packers. Yeah, it was. This is his worst season since.
Yep. Basically, it's probably like rookie season. Yeah.
No, his first starting season as a Packers quarterback was way better.
Yep.
Crazy.
So let's all root for the Packers on Sunday. Let's go.
Boo.
All right. Cool. Well, that's a playoff picture. It's very exciting. Other things, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about this. The ending of the Lions and Cowboys. We didn't really fully watch the ending of this because we were at AJ's celebrating Christmas, all sitting around the fire, and we kind of watched it on somebody's phone. But I've watched like all the replays from this, and this is just by far one of the worst refereeing, I don't know what you call it, jobs I've ever seen. That a guy walked up to you, reported in as an eligible receiver. You didn't check his number. In my opinion, that's what he did. He just didn't check his number. I just assumed it was 70 again, coming up and reporting in again, and just completely botched the call. Now, I think that definitely the Cowboys would have, if they actually announced 68 as an eligible receiver, they actually would have covered him, and it definitely would have changed the play, in my opinion. But how do you botch that? What are you guys thoughts on this this refereeing, or how that game ended? Because it affects the playoff seeding.
Well, yeah, of course it does. You could have seen the Lions with the number 2 seed already.
Mm-hmm.
Could have holding that, defending it, and it was just a horrible situation with the refs. You know, it's disgusting. It is what it is. Refs miss calls all the time, but not when it's right in your face and being told to you, not in the middle of a play. It was bad, disgusting, and I hate to see how it ended. It is what it is, and I think those refs should not only be downgraded but fined. I know that's why I said not only downgraded but fined as well in this league. And this league needs to take this official, this calling a lot more seriously, because it's affecting way too many games, especially this year. And I'm not siding with Patrick Mahomes if that's what you guys are thinking, because that was the right call. This one was not.
Yeah, this one was pretty bad, but I still blame the Lions, man. I mean, yeah, I know we're talking about the refs here, and I think AJ
Yes.
hit it right on the sweet spot there. They need to get this under control. Yes, human error is human error, but there's too much human error. I don't know if it's some of these referees need to get their eyes checked, their ears checked. Yes, it gets loud sometimes. But Pete has a comment here. I think AJ was reading it, but it says, "I don't care what anybody says. If they don't call the tripping on the wrong team, we never would have been in that situation. It ended up how it should have. I'll take that missed call." And I mean, yeah, I mean, every call makes a difference. So that's what we're talking about here. The reffing job just needs to get better. But I still put this one on the blame of MCDC. I mean, go for the field goal.
Yep.
That's the ultimate thing here. You had 3 chances to go for the field goal, and you decided 3 out of 3 times, and you struck out, bro. That's what happens. You know, they got the penalty against them that took back the 2-point conversion. Could have given them the win. Then the second time they had a flag thrown on them. I mean, it just, I don't know. I don't know what you do. I would have kicked the field goal the first time and said, you know what, let's luck it out. Let's luck it out. Yes, it was a great play call, but you know, you got to make sure that everything goes correct in order to get that play call. It's just too much.
Yeah, going off that, Vince, like I actually agree with MCDC going for it on for the 2-point conversion. I love that type of call. It what's the word? It promotes like confidence in your entire team. Like, hey, my coach believes in us that we can go out and get this 2-point conversion. I think it's a great thing. You have those like that one play in your playbook ready for the 2-point conversion for every game. That, hey, if we get in that situation, we love this play. We've got it well executed. It's 100%. Or you feel that confident about it. You shouldn't feel that confident in your second one. After that. And you sure as hell shouldn't feel that confident about the third best option for a 2-point conversion in your playbook. At that point, you should have kicked the field goal. At that point, it should have been 100% a field goal. He just got frustrated. I think that he all he could see was red in his eyes, and he was like, "I want this 2-point conversion." He felt like, "Hey, the ref stole this from me, and I'm gonna get it, no matter how many kneecaps I had to bite off to get it." And he was not able to bite off enough kneecaps in order for it to happen. I don't think that if the refs, and I also say that if the refs had gotten the right call, I don't think it's 100% that the 2-point conversion would have worked on that first try, because they would have said to the defense, "Hey, 68 is eligible," and they would have covered him better. At least that's my thought, that because the backfield was not ready for it, whatever his name is, to come out of the backfield or from the line and catch that pass. They were not ready for that. So I definitely would have think that the Cowboys would have won that game regardless. But it's easy, in my opinion, to mess up a pass interference call. That's easy. It's a human error part of the game. But for you to not even recognize who's reporting in, that should be 100% always right call. Crazy to me that it happened.
I'm going to have to agree with Vince as well here, just a little bit. The awareness of the Lions has to be there as well. Whenever a player reports is eligible, it is announced to not just the team, but to the whole stadium. Everyone hears it.
I heard the recording of it. Yeah. They announced it.
And they announced the correct number and all that?
They announced 70, not 68.
Yeah.
They announced the wrong one. So that's why the Cowboys were covering him. I don't know how the Lions offense on the field or MCDC on the sideline didn't go, "Oh, they didn't hear it right. Let me call timeout. Let me fix this right away or do something."
Yeah.
I don't know how they don't fix that right there in the moment.
And that's where the awareness is. And there's a ref that's always supposed to be near the head coaches, right? Yeah. For timeout situations. So even if you didn't have a timeout, I'm yelling at the ref like, "Hey, it's 68. It's 68. You got the wrong number."
And the ref should be able to instantly call it into the other ref, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And then they report it out there. But also going back to Pete's comment here, We're not saying this team, that team should have won.
Yeah,
It's just a horrible scenario. Like if it was the other way around, it's a horrible scenario to be in, and it's very frustrating. I could just imagine for a team, a coach, a player, and we're just fans out here. It was an absolutely great win for the Dallas Cowboys. I was absolutely furious when CeeDee Lamb had that 95-yard touchdown reception. I was going up against him in the fantasy football playoffs. Didn't matter at the end though, because but yeah,
You're a Himothy?
I am BCB
Gotcha.
that day. But that's just horrible. And it goes back, like you said, if they didn't call the wrong tripping in the wrong team, it goes back to the calling, right? It goes back to the officiating, it goes back to the reviewing. That needs to be corrected. It can't be a part-time job. They need to find a way to keep these guys employed, put them through freaking ref school through the off season, have them cover film, see where they screwed up. Because nowadays, I feel like as fans, as technology is getting better and better, we might not even need refs in the future. But this past year, we've seen so many times, oh, these refs got suspended, these refs got fined, these refs are not allowed to ref in the playoffs. This team can no longer be a team. It is getting too often where we're hearing these things about these refs, and it's just I'm tired of talking about refs. I think most of them do an amazing job. Very thankful for what they do. Not everyone could do that. It's extremely difficult, but they're getting paid pretty nice to do the right job, and a lot of times that's not happening.
Yeah, man. Sure. I will say they spot the ball very well. Majority of the time, it's
insane how they do it.
Yeah.
I don't
Sometimes
know
they have like the worst angle, and then they just get it right on the dots.
Yeah, so no, good for them, but like we should have some type of technology to not do their job, but to heavily assist them to make sure every call is accurate.
Yeah, man.
If we could have Toy Story play real life football, we could see real life penalties.
And I mean, they get help from New York all the time. Like, I don't know why the head umpire doesn't have a little walkie in his ear already. He has to go to the sideline, but he has to go to the sideline.
He has to go to the sideline.
Yeah.
He has to request to call New York. Like, you have each and every guy watching each and every game. Be like, hey, what do you think about that call? We're good? Yeah? Okay, cool. Yep, the call is boom.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. But
yeah,
it's got to be something.
Got to do something. Cannot keep the way things are. It's just got to be better. And we're going to end off on this last subject. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but I definitely want to talk about this. And it's how much trouble can the Browns make in the playoffs? And I kind of asked this question, or I kind of posed it in our little 3-person group chat. I was like, hey, the Browns, and I sent it on Thursday night when they were beating the Doonies out of the Jets. I put it in there. I was like, hey, the Browns are going to be dangerous in the playoffs. And Vince instantly was like, it's just the Jets. So I kind of posed this at him a little bit, and I definitely want AJ to join in. But Pete says, well, they know to follow the script too. So what can we do? See, that's why we got to fix the refs so people stop thinking it's an actual script out here. That's not good for the NFL. You don't want one of the people bet on the NFL so much. You do not want them to start thinking that the actual NFL is scripted and not fair. But how much trouble can the Browns make in the playoffs? AJ kind of touched it on it a little bit earlier, but we're not fully really impressed by any of the teams in the AFC other than maybe the Ravens, who AJ himself says are the real deal. But the Browns, they should not be in this, honestly. They have lost almost all their stars. They lost the quarterback they're paying millions upon millions of dollars to. They lost Nick Chubb. They've lost multiple other guys, and they're somehow here. Have gotten secured the 5th seed. Could be a higher seed, but unfortunately the Ravens are in their division, and they got one of the hottest quarterbacks in the NFL right now, Joe Flacco, coming off the couch, and he's playing great. Is this just a hey, it's been fun for a little bit, and in the coming weeks in the playoffs, he's going to show his true self, the older guy that he is? Or is this legit and potentially the Browns can make a Super Bowl run? What do you guys think? Vincent first, since he kind of shot me down when I asked this question in the chat.
Hey, man, I'm looking at their path right now. They play against Jacksonville. Of course, in my opinion, that's a dub. These guys have two of the best tight ends in the league. Jaguars are struggling to find, health in their locker room at this point in the season. Cleveland has a better record already. Jacksonville has been struggling in the past few weeks. They looked great in the beginning of the season, but we've said it a long time ago, back in like week 8 or week 9, Jacksonville Jaguars, they do not look like a good team. And that entire little division there does not look like great teams at all. They're always wishy-washy. We never know who we're going to pick. That's why I said this one too. The Browns just beat the Jets. But the Browns do have the easiest route to play whoever it is in the AFC Championship, because they beat the Jaguars, then they play possibly I think it's going to be either the Kansas City Chiefs or it's going to be the Buffalo Bills, right? So it's whoever is the higher seed there. I think when it's all said and done, I think it shakes out that they play the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think the Bills are going to make it, because they're probably going to play someone harder than the Houston Texans, or they could possibly lose to the Houston Texans. So I think Cleveland has the easiest route. I think Miami has the hardest route, whether they're the 2nd seed or the 6th seed. And I think Kansas City is just done for. So, yes, I think the Browns are a good team, but as of this past week, they were just playing the Jets. And we said it over and over again. The Jets are the Jets. They lose to bad teams by 30. They can stick with good teams, but they still end up losing. That's why they're 6-10.
All right. AJ?
It's very easy to fall in love with someone who's standing next to a Duff, right? And that game with the Jets and the Browns, they're going up against a Duff.
Whoa.
And that horrible offensive line and going against that defense. They look really good, right? And they're good. They're good. But they can cause a stir in this playoffs.
For sure.
I'm not going to take that away. They have a top-notch defense, probably the top defense in the NFL. Their defense is no joke. So that makes you wonder, like, what if they actually invested any money into their defense instead of everything into their offense? Like they did with the wide receivers, with the quarterback, with running back Kareem Hunt and stuff. It could have looked really good, but that's not what we're talking about here. This playoffs, Joe Flacco, I don't think his real colors are going to show out. I just think that his real colors are there, and people are not used to seeing that anymore. That's another Jimmy G. He's just a very good do your job type of guy. Yes, sir, type of guy. He's not, I want to get creative. I want to go on the outside of the numbers and try to get a first down. No, I want to wait, be patient, check 1, check 2, there, not there, hand it off. That's what he does. Good game managing quarterback, very excellent, been in the league for a very long time, a lot of experience, a lot of playoff experience. Good for him. He's going to do excellent. But the real story is that defense. How far can that defense carry that team? It's going to be super fun to watch. Honestly, I won't surprise if we see, Ravens Browns championship, or, maybe a KC Browns championship. But Ravens should finish off there. If I had to pick a second team to come out strong, I'm looking at Cleveland, and for that defense and defense only.
I like it. I have a little bit more faith in Joe Flacco than these guys, but maybe I'm just drinking the juice a little bit too much. That could also be the real thing. But you guys have any other last comments on this Overreaction Monday before we end off the stream?
No. Super excited for the new year, man. New year, new me.
Heck yeah. Vincent?
Nothing much, man. Just ready for the last week of the season coming up this weekend, and yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
Either me or Vincent's team's journey will come to an end this next Sunday, and another one streams will keep going. But we'll see how Sunday shakes up, and hopefully it's exciting regardless. So thank you guys all for tuning in to the stream today. Make sure you guys check us out on all of our socials down below, on Twitter, on TikTok, etc., Facebook. Make sure you guys follow us all there. If you guys like the stream, make sure you leave a like on this video. Hit the sub button if you have not yet. And as always, keep on grinding.